This is the plaintiff, Chantal Durant. She says she came from Europe and needed a place to live for a month. She ended up moving in with the defendant, who she comes to find took her rent money and never paid the landlord. Now the louse won't give her security back. She has to go back to Switzerland, hopes the judge can help, and is suing for $700, the amount she's owed. This is the defendant, Justin Stone Diaz. He says the plaintiff promised to stay in the apartment for a couple of months, not just 1 month. She moved out and he's had to carry the half-empty apartment by himself ever since she took off on him. The girl's not stable. She threw a temper tantrum, left him high and dry, and he used her security to cover some of his losses. He's accused of taking advantage of a Swiss miss.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff came from Europe, moved in with the defendant, says she gave the defendant money for rent, and the defendant never gave it to the landlord. Now she has to move back to Switzerland. But the defendant says she just took off without notice. It's the case of the Swiss miss.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Chantal Durante? Durante. You are suing Justin Stone Diaz for $700, the security deposit that you gave him in order to, is it sublet an apartment with him, and he refuses to return to you, you say unlawfully. Tell me what's going on.
So, yeah, I want to get back my security deposit, and he told me that he doesn't want to give it me back because I didn't give him the 3 days notice.
All right, you were looking for an apartment in New York. Where were you coming from?
Switzerland.
Switzerland. Is that your home?
Yeah.
Okay. And you were coming to New York for what purpose?
To do a semester in a school.
Okay. So in looking for an apartment, how did you find this one?
Through a friend of a friend of a friend.
Who's a friend of his?
Yeah.
Okay. And you find the apartment, and what is the agreement that you have about this apartment?
So I had to pay $700 security deposit,
okay,
and $700 for the rent. Okay. And when I moved out, he was supposed to give me the security deposit, or maybe I don't had to pay the last month, and
okay,
it was the, you know.
Do you have something in writing that says what you just said?
Yeah.
May I see it? This was an email that he sent to you, or you sent to him?
He sent to me.
In order to create a record of what your verbal agreement was.
Exactly.
Okay, there's not actually something that you guys signed, but this is what your agreement was. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so then what happens? You move in when?
August 29th.
All right, and how does it go?
So, like
Was it good or bad? How was your relationship there?
At the beginning, it was okay.
Okay.
Like, okay.
But then, according to you, he started to become mean to you.
Yeah, a few weeks after.
And how was he mean to you?
Like, he was insulting me all the time, telling that I was a child, a little kid, a princess, a hipster.
Hipster?
Yeah.
Okay. How's that a bad thing? I thought that was. Did I miss? Wait, I might have missed something that, like fat is good. And,
right. To some, it's a dirty word, especially if you're living in Williamsburg.
I don't get it. I'm sorry.
It's a derogatory term that people use for people who live in Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
All right, go ahead.
Well, so I decided to move out because.
Yeah, but what do you think was the cause of not getting along?
I don't know. He is kind of weird.
He's kind of weird. Okay.
Yeah.
He's nodding. That's the funny part about that. Okay.
So, for example, his front door, like if it's closed, like with the key, you can open it, even if it's closed. So one night, I just came home and said, "Hey, you can enter in your apartment without a key." And he started yelling at me like, "You don't know how to close the door. Shut up, you don't know how to close the door. I'm gonna do it later. Leave me alone," and stuff like that. And all the time I was saying something, and he was always, let me alone. You don't know, stuff like that.
How long did you live there?
1 month and a half.
And what made you decide to leave? He was making you uncomfortable?
Yeah, because he became very, very, very mean, and I couldn't speak with him anymore.
So you made other living arrangements. You are living now where?
In Brooklyn.
I don't mean the address, but I mean what kind of an arrangement?
In
In
Brooklyn.
but with
It's month to month. I have 2 roommates.
Okay, and you are staying until the semester's over.
Yeah, so I'm leaving in 1 week.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Well, other than this, how'd you enjoy America?
Yeah. No.
Let's hear it from you. All right.
I love it.
Well,
but
how
it
many?
was kind of hard to stand that story, you know.
So if you really are butting heads and don't get along with another tenant in your building, can you move out without giving notice?
Yes, absolutely.
Because why?
If it's unbearable, I would leave.
Is unbearable a defense to giving notice?
You'd have to give notice. You could move out, but you're still liable for the 30 days.
Even if it's unbearable?
I think so. You'd have to at least compensate them for it. Yeah.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
Let me hear from you, Mr. Stone Diaz. What's going on? Why won't you return her security deposit?
Well, the whole thing is that we never had anything in writing. The original agreement was that she was going to be there till January. She needed a place short term. I needed something. It worked out perfectly. And then the original agreement was that she was going to be there through January.
Wait, stop. Do you have a written agreement?
No, we don't.
All right, when you
never
don't
did.
have a written lease for several months, it is a month-to-month
I understand
tenancy.
that.
But on top of that, if you understand that, then why are you holding a position different than that? You're looking me in the eye and say she was supposed to stay till January. No, she wasn't, because unless you have a written lease that says until January, then she's not. And what this says is specifically, by the way, the opposite of what you say. The email you send her says this rental agreement is a month-to-month and can be broken with 30 days written notice by either
Which
party.
I never received.
Okay, now let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Did you give him 30 days written notice?
Yes, 3 times.
Okay,
So
show me your 30 days written notice.
the official one was the certified mail on October 14th, but I tell him before that.
By the way, is there a dispute about October rent being paid?
No, she moved out of
Wait,
there
listen,
on October 6th.
I have a specific question.
All right.
I want
No,
to
there
stop.
isn't.
There's no dispute.
There's
She
no
did pay
dispute.
October rent. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
First of all, I've told him that I was going to leave at the beginning of the month of October because we didn't get
Along.
Thank you. And after that, I wrote him a letter, but written later, and I let the letter on his desk. And when he came home, he just saw my letter and tore it and threw it away the room without reading it.
Is that true?
No, the thing I'm confused about is that I was certified on the 15th. She moved out of my place on the 7th of October.
Yeah, but I wrote you this letter before leaving. So yeah, after leaving, the international student of my school suggested to me to do a certified mail in case of.
Okay, now I have a couple questions. When did you start renting there?
August 29th.
So did you pay rent those days in August, or no? Your rent started in September.
Yeah.
So your rent starts on the 1st of the month. Okay.
Exactly.
And then the earliest written notice you can prove is October 15th. According to you, you gave him a written notice before that, which was on what day?
8th.
October 8th. And according to him, you moved out before that.
After the written hand, but before the official letter.
Okay, so you say you moved out between the 8th of October and the 13th.
It was the 10th, if I remember.
And you had paid October around the 5th.
The 5th, yeah.
So why had you paid October? When you paid October, did you think you were staying?
Yeah.
And what happened to change your mind about staying?
Because once again, he was very mean with me.
What's your response on the way she claims that you were making her feel incredibly uncomfortable?
Well, this whole thing stems from the incident on the morning, or it was like 3 o'clock in the morning on the 7th. She'd come home and she'd had trouble with her door. Our door, our landlord didn't put a deadbolt on it, so sometimes it doesn't close. And she repeatedly had asked me to show her how to do it, and I'd shown her a couple times, and it was late.
Hold on, don't interrupt him.
And so when she came home that night, she'd been out with some friends. She came, because my desk is right above where you walk in. She came in and she wanted to be instructed on how to lock the door. And I was like, I'll do it later, Chantal. I'll close the door, don't worry about it. Well, then she made a big incident about the fact that I wouldn't show her how to do it. We kind of fought for a little while, back and forth. She went into her room, things settled down, and then she came out with her Macintosh and smoking a cigarette, Skyping with a friend in French. And I asked her if she could not do that in the living room, and it became this
Which one, the Skyping or the cigarette?
The Skyping while she was smoking. It was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I work late, and I write in the living room. And so it started this fight that ended up in that she didn't want to go into her room and do that because she didn't want to smoke in her room. And then the next morning around 11 o'clock, she comes out of her room with her luggage and tells me she's leaving. There may have been notes left on my desk before while we were trying to resolve things at the beginning of the month, and there was a Post-it note I ignored in the bathroom that I threw away, but there was nothing on my desk.
In any event, you agree that whether it was oral, the note, or the certified one, it all happened past October 1st, right?
Yeah.
In fact,
yes.
Yeah. And do you agree that here it says you have to give 30 days written notice?
Yeah, I wrote him this first letter on 8th or something, and I said, these are my 30 days, so you're trying to get the whole $700 back. Are you saying now that you think you should get part of it back? Because you didn't give a full 30 days notice, right? Right.
Okay, now, we have a problem, and here's what the problem is. That's not the law. You can't give notice in the middle of a month and say, I want the 30 days to count from the day I gave notice. Once October 1st passes and you have not given 30 days notice, November is gonna be due in November. Because what the law is that based on this agreement that you guys have, he gets a full 30 days to try to get somebody else in there. And in the middle of a month is not a convenient time to try to get somebody else in there. It runs from the 1st to the 1st. So by your own testimony, I have to rule in his favor in this lawsuit. And he has to be able to keep that $700 because that's the rent for November.
But I left on October 10th, so he had 20 days, and I wanted to pay until November 10th.
Right? In your agreement. I'm sorry, that's my judgment, and that's how it works. That's not, it's the same for you as everybody else who agrees to give 30 days written notice. Okay, verdict for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Right, so the plaintiff's right here. You were saying something as the case ended and as the judge was ruling. What was it that you wanted to say there?
Yeah, he doesn't pay the rent anymore for months, and I had to pay the rent.
Well, I don't think what he does has any bearing on what your responsibilities are.
I understand why I'm losing this case. I've done nothing wrong in this story, you know.
Well, I think it's because you had to give 30 days notice, and your notice wasn't 30 days. It was less than 30 days.
So he keeps my money, and he keeps another money from me. So.
For November, yeah.
And my security. And he doesn't pay rent, so God bless America.
Sorry. All right, so come on in here. What went wrong in there? Why couldn't you two get along?
She said to me during this fight that no one ever tells her what to do. It's the first time she's lived alone, so she wasn't used to being told to clean up after herself. And
you guys are fighting like, boyfriend, girl, fighting like,
cats and dogs?
Yeah, well, what's going on between the two of you? You can't get along as roommates?
No, I mean, it's just personality differences. I mean, she's used to living on her own and with her parents.
You didn't want anything more from her, right?
No, I mean, I hope we'll be able to, be friends at some point, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Harvey?
Okay, you know what? Just a word to the wise here. If you have to give notice, 30 days notice, do it in writing. Never, ever, ever, did I say ever, ever do this orally. You should always have something in writing where you can prove with an email that you did it. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.